Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's been a little while again, but I am back. I am back to explain all of this crazy shit we got going on right now. Um, I'm pretty sure that's everybody's focus right now. I mean, you can't go anywhere. You can't listen to anything without seeing, hearing anything about the damn virus. All right. You can't even go on and log on to your email. You can't even go into your email because everything in there that you know all your subscriptions is all talking about the goddamn coronavirus. Obviously, that's obviously the the big hot topic of the evening here, right? But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Okay? I'm just gonna try to be real on this one. I'm not gonna go on and try to capture the spiritual side to this whole thing. But just know here, people, with everything going on with the coronavirus, all right, it's causing everybody to be locked up at home. Okay, jobs are being lost. Jobs in the future are going to be lost. While a lot of these businesses are closing doors at the same time, this is only going to have a cascading effect on not only already severely on an already severely unstable economy. In case you did not know, I've already explained this in a previous video of mine where I talked about these things, and I explained hell, I even went to the point of telling people that there wasn't much time left. And well, here we are today. Here we are today. And in case you didn't know, or in case you've been living under a rock, apparently the stock market had crashed about 30 or 40%, some even deeper than that. And not only that, I mean, it was a very steep drop and a very steep, like, in a very short amount of time. Okay? Trump's 3 years of market increases over the years literally evaporated in the matter of 3 weeks. Yep, it took 3 years to get to that point, and it evaporated in no time flat. And truthfully, it could have gone even lower. It could have gone even lower if it wasn't for the damn Fed to step in here and literally start just buying up everything, dropping interest rates below zero. Listen, people, listen. Again, this is gonna have a cascading effect. The economy is unstable. It's been unstable. I explained that in the last video. So if you hadn't seen it, go check that out. I'll show you a couple things. Okay, I do not give financial advice. I'm no financial expert at this shit. However, I do pay attention. Okay? So, understand, a lot of people's way of life, or hell, probably everything that you do on a daily, is not going to be the same. It's going to be changed. Alright, and I don't just say this because of the damn virus, okay? The fucking virus is a scapegoat, in my opinion, that's being used to cover up the real problems that we've been having for a very long time. While at the same time, them lying to people, okay? Saying that everything is just fine, everything is just great. Oh yeah, right. But the market's just had a 30-40% correction, but everything is great, okay? Oh yeah, that's normal. That's normal. Interest rates drop to zero. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal, right? Because that's what you do in a booming economy, apparently, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, a so-called booming economy, and you dropped rates, start repo operations like no other. I mean, even on the other side, people having trouble with their damn banks. Every time they turn around, there's some kind of technical issues. Oh gee, I wonder what those technical issues are, right? Okay, those are not the kind of fucking things that you do when you have a so-called booming economy. And I said this as well, people. You stop listening to what the fuck people are telling you, okay? Actions speak louder than words. Okay, when you have a booming economy, you raise rates because then that means that people are overall more stable. And I tried to give y'all that heads up way back last year in July, about what, July or so, July 2019 last year. All right, and I mean, look again. Here we are. Here we are. Some days later. All right. Um. So you need to get properly prepared now. I mean, honestly, it's probably a little too late for all of that by now. I mean, the higher these cases go, the more strict that they're going to become. All right. Eventually, it might even get to the point to where even the quote unquote essentials, unless you are an emergency essential, but the regular essentials might even be locked up at home. Okay. And understand, people nowadays, they're not equipped for this kind of thing. They're not equipped for all of this shit that's going on here. Okay. They're not equipped to, like, a lot of people just like to go out and do, any and everything. All right. So when they're actually forced to stay home, okay, and they're forced to just sit around and be bored, these people have a very short patient span. Okay. They're going to become very impatient. Okay. And on top of that, since some of them have lost their jobs, filed for unemployment. I mean, they're talking about 47 million people, 32% filing for unemployment. Mind you, people, okay? Mind you, when you look at the actual data, again, when you look at the actual labor participation rate, the data on that, the labor force participation rate is lower now, or even last year, or even the year before that. All those years, basically, those couple years ago, are lower than they were in 2008. And a lot of people know what happened in 2008, 07, 08, 09. A lot of people know. Okay? So, just throwing that out there. Okay, they're talking about 32%, but the labor force participation rate is actually lower than it was in 2008. That tells me, and they're talking about, the best employment rate that we've had in over 50 years, over 30 years. Just literally blowing sunshine, a whole bunch of sunshine up the crack of your ass. Like, just lies left and right. It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, people, if you're just stuck sitting there listening to what the hell they're saying on the radio, on the TV, on whatever, and you're not actually looking at this data yourself, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of going along, being with the sheeple crowd and whatnot. That crowd in general are going to be the most hit hard. They're going to be the ones that's going to hurt the most, because they have absolutely no idea what's going on, why it's happening. They're just not equipped for that mentally. It's just not going to happen. All right, it's just not going to happen. Like I said, we've been having problems for a long ass time, and there's just no getting out of it. Okay, ever since the issuance of debt came about, okay, that was it. Because understand, this is the reason why it was such a big thing when they started talking about the whole debt ceiling when Obama was in office. Remember that? I think, what was it, back in what was it, 2014, I believe it was 2013, 2014, or somewhere around there, when they were talking about taking a vote on removing the debt ceiling. That was a huge deal. See, because what's happening is the debt ceiling was a cap. It was a cap that they put on their self, and the reason why they put that cap on their self is because they were trying to prevent the worst case scenario at the time. However, everything has changed. We've become more of a socialist, communist society than we ever have been. So what happened? They removed the fucking debt ceiling, and that is the reason why everything just keeps going up and up and up and up and up on bad news. On bad news. It just keeps going up and up. It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. Debt has always been the fucking problem, okay? If you are $23 trillion in debt, okay, because again, they're talking about this stimulus package that's supposed to be given everybody, right? You know, this $1,200, $2,400, however the hell much money it is or whatever. I can tell you now it's not going to be enough, and I can tell you now they're going to make people pay this money back some way or another, okay? Never have they just given you free money. They'd have to be absolutely desperate to not try and somehow take that money back, because that's how it always has been. That's how it's always been, okay? If you are $23 trillion in debt, and let's say you have an income of $2, $3, $4, $5 trillion, right? But you're $23 trillion in debt. I mean, need I say more? There's just no fucking way that you're going to be able to pay all your bills with a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 trillion income with $23 trillion in debt. People can't do that now on a $35,000 salary or a $40,000 salary, and they're even $50,000 in debt. Some even deeper than that. $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. They got debt sky fucking high, okay? There's just no way. There's just no way. And how long is it going to take them to make that amount of income to cover that amount of debt? See, if you're making that amount of income to cover that amount of debt, you're safe. Okay? You're safe. You might even have a little room to splurge. And speaking of which, this little stimulus package they're giving people, this money that they're supposed to be giving people, a lot of people, hard-headed asses, they're probably going to take that damn money and go and spend it on some stupid shit that they don't need. Okay? Granted, yeah, food, water, shelter, all that good shit, you know what I'm saying? Even if you have to go buy a damn pair of shoes or whatever, like, you know, things that you actually need, you know, I can understand that. But again, if you don't actually really and truly need it, put that fucking money to your damn debt. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out and just buy some dumb shit. Or if you are going to do it, you know, play it smart. You know what I'm saying? Play the other side of the fucking ball game that they're playing here. You know? Bet against the fucking debt. Go out and buy some hard assets. If it's even still around. I don't even think there's any left anymore. Everybody bought up all the damn gold, all the damn silver. I mean, you might be able to invest in Bitcoin, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could, but I mean, I'm not the kind of person to do that or whatever, you know, but I'm just saying here, okay? I'm just saying, because when you bet against the debt, you know, and you know for sure that this is going to happen, because it's obvious it's going to happen. Okay, they're literally just creating this money that they don't have, that they're giving to everybody out in the middle of nowhere. What is that going to do? When you create random currency out of the middle of nowhere, okay, what that is going to do is that's going to devalue your current currency that you have right now. So the more debt you keep piling on, you keep piling it on more and more and more and more and more, the more your fucking currency is going to get devalued less and less and less and less and less. Like literally, we might just look up one day and the dollar might just plummet out of the middle of nowhere, and that is going to be that's going to be terrible. I mean, things are already bad enough as it is now. It's so quiet outside. I mean, I've never seen it this quiet before. Don't get me wrong. I'm loving the traffic. Whew. No traffic. But still, okay? It's so quiet outside. There's just people aren't doing anything. They're not going anywhere. You know, they're just simmering and just boiling and shit in a fucking hot pot inside of their own fucking cribs. You know what I'm saying? So it's, again, people, it's only going to get worse from here. Okay, you need to prepare yourself somewhat now, as much as you can. Okay, um, just whatever the hell you can. Just like I explained in the last video, get up, do something about it before it's too late. There was only so much time left. Well, shit, we are at that fucking point. Okay, and another thing to look out for too, if people are sitting up in their houses, and on top of that, they've lost their jobs. They're not literally, so their household income has literally plummeted. Okay, even though they're on uh some little corny ass unemployment before. Give me a break. I've been on unemployment before, and I can tell you it's not enough to pay rent. If you're the only one paying rent by yourself, okay, knowing that rent prices are literally insanely high, and the only reason why they're so high is because the demand is so high, and the reason why the demand is so high is because the real estate market itself, mortgages, have a bit of a problem. They're not being bought. They're being foreclosed. There's problems. People can't sell. So therefore, people are going to have been trying to refinance everything. Refinance their leases on their cars or their car loans, okay? Their house mortgages. Like, the moment they dropped interest rates to zero, people went to town because they know it's like, shit, this is a chance to try and lower the house payment, okay? Which is a very smart idea. It's a very smart idea. Everybody might not be able to get it, but it's a smart idea. But again, rents are high. Rents are extreme. Rents are so extreme. There are some rents that are so high where you're paying more for the freaking house, apartment, etc. itself than the amount of square footage. You're paying a whole lot of money for a tiny bit of space. Obviously, that's not realistic. That's not reality. Period. Okay? You're supposed to have more space for less price. More space, less price. What is that significant of? That's significant of a booming economy. That's an economy that is doing great. So interest rates can be high, and it's okay because everybody is doing just fine. Which probably means that your debt is probably lower. Okay? See, here's the thing about the whole debt situation. Everything is debt, okay? Your credit card is debt, your car loan is debt, mortgages is debt, everything is debt. Everything that you had to borrow and pay back later is debt. Every kind of credit card loan possible that you can think of, it's all debt. And how do you pay off this debt? Oh, right, with more fucking debt. With more debt. Really? You're paying debt with debt. So you're acquiring more debt to get rid of your current debt. In other words, you're just literally recycling debt. Just over and over and over and over. You just can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it because right now, debt is literally unsustainable right now. It's at a level of unsustainability. People are tapped the hell out. People are fucking tapped out. And they've been tapped out for a long time. But again, they're coming up on these, right here in your face through the camera, telling you that everything is fine. And a majority of people will sit there and believe it. They'll believe it because they believe that they can't tell them no wrong. Hey, I just shrugged my shoulder because, again, I'm not one to tell anybody anything, what they need to do, what they have to do. Like, I can suggest shit all day long, but it doesn't mean that somebody is going to do it. Because that's just how humans are. That's just how That's just how it is. Okay, that's just how it is. That's how it will be. You know what I'm saying? Because even if, like, in terms of, like, us out here doing all this shit, conscious people trying to wake unconscious people, we're fighting a losing battle. Okay, we're fighting a losing battle. Number one, because we don't have control of the media. Okay, we don't have control of people's attention, their 100% attention. Okay, they have most of their attention most of the time, so therefore they pretty much got the ups on us, you know. So, and on top of that, the the conscious crowd is very small. Like, the truly conscious crowd, it's very small. It's a very small, and it's not enough to be able to wake the majority. The majority is literally going to get flushed out with the flood, because they had no idea what was coming, what was happening, why it was happening, the virus, this and that, all that shit. They have no idea. They have no idea. I mean, I mean, how many times do we have to say it? You know what I'm saying, about things that pop up out of nowhere, people that seem so great that they suddenly just pop up out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they have a huge following. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the virus. And I mean, the virus literally just popped up out of nowhere. It popped up out of nowhere. Everything, just all this shit just popped up out of nowhere. But the virus being the biggest thing. Yeah. And somehow they're saying that we surpassed China, Spain, Italy in the number of cases that we have. Though we've probably had it second or third to the shortest time. Though somehow Spain has more deaths. Okay, their numbers are not as high, but they've had more deaths than anybody, pretty much. I don't know. Look, China's probably lying about their numbers, but at this point, it doesn't fucking matter, because the bottom line is, United States has probably been the main target to begin with. So it's a funny relation though here between Spain, Italy, Spain, United States. Like, historically, what they all have in common, it's kind of funny. But but anyways, let me back it up a little bit here. Let me explain about this whole debt thing, okay? So way back to the furthest point that you can possibly think of, back when the issuance of the dollar came around, okay? Every single president that has been in there, Democrat, Republican, doesn't fucking matter, has basically increased the debt more and more and more over time. Over a span of about 50, 60 years, people did not recognize the growing problem that was going on, because they were so caught up in, in the illusion reality, that they had no idea that, that this would develop into this serious of a problem. And it got to a point when it hit probably the last 4 presidents, where every time each president literally doubled the debt on top of the other. We had the Bush Senior coming out, talk about the New World Order. Okay, whatever. Then you had Bill Clinton come out, he doubled his debt. Okay, then you had Bush Jr. come out, and he absolutely doubled Clinton's debt. Then Obama came out, and he doubled his debt. And then Trump is here, and boy, see, but it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the frog, the frog simmering in the pot. When the frog is simmering in the pot on a very low setting, and he doesn't realize that he's being cooked, until the point where he realized that, shit, something is wrong. But by that time, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? That's the point where they put the pot top back on the pot and you're trapped. Right. Yeah. See, that's the point. We've basically reached. Okay. So again, the debt has always been a problem, but it's ironic how the last four presidents or so have exponentially increased the debt. Like, it's literally just just went sky high, just going straight up, kind of like the market's just going straight up until it fell just now. But again, we're gonna have some serious problems. Okay, people need to just go ahead and get ready for it now. You might as well. Okay, because these people sitting in the house not paying their bills, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna have a cascading effect, like I just explained. Basically, if you can't pay your car, and it's not going to be just you, but hundreds of thousands of millions of people that can't pay their fucking car, okay, that meaning when they default, and then the banks that are holding those defaulted ass loans gonna try to sell that shit off to somebody else, they're not gonna want to buy it. So therefore, whatever bank is holding on to those mortgages, those car loans, all that shit, that's just gonna cause more problems on their end, gonna cause a huge liquidity issue, which they've already been having a liquidity issue, okay? And when that bank goes under, then everything underneath that bank goes under. It's just one big ass fucking just cascading effect again, and the businesses too, especially in the retail sector, retail, house mortgage loans or whatever, the real estate sector, car loans, people are just not buying cars like they used to. I mean, there's probably gonna be quite a few bankruptcies going on. I mean, you've already seen so many car manufacturers laying off people left and right. That, again, like I said before, that's never a good sign. Yeah, that's never a good sign, but it's gonna happen. It's coming, okay? And like I said, it's just shit is just gonna roll downhill. Not only is it gonna roll downhill, it's gonna shoot back up to the top too. It's gonna go up and down. It's gonna go both ways. And again, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. Like, the direction we're heading in right now might look 1929, seem like a freaking cakewalk. And I'm not joking about that. We might just be heading for a serious Great Depression, like a depression like no other. Okay? Because on top of that, if the dollar falls one day, okay, and you have a depression, and then you're going to look up one day and you're going to have hyperinflation. Prices are going to skyrocket through the roof. People aren't going to be able to afford that. So, yeah. I mean, you can expect things to pop off, okay? And I literally mean pop off, like when people literally reach the point of no return, like when somebody that suddenly has nothing else to lose and they lose it all, they lose it, period. People snap, and it's gonna happen. Some people are gonna snap. I mean, you probably see all kinds of crazy shit going on. Crime, riots, just people just literally start to eventually rely on survival, go in survival mode, relying on instincts, etc. Okay? And understand, look, people, this is not to freak anybody out or to freak everybody out. It's not to do that, okay? This is only to try to keep you prepared as much as possible mentally. Not physically, mentally prepare yourself so that if it does happen, you won't be surprised by it. But again, I know. Again, I can sit here, I can say this once, twice, 3 times. I can say this so many times over and over again, because there are some out there that literally been making a video about this shit every day. Like, there are some that are literally staying right on top of this shit, and these guys are actually really truly financial experts. So they know exactly what is coming and what is gonna happen. Okay, I mean, come on. If you have, we had over 200 something plus CEOs just up and dip, the fuck out the door, just leave, just left. That's the most in history. That's never seen that many CEOs just get up and go. They're running for the exits. That's what they're doing. They're running for the freaking exits. And I know this probably sounds crazy as hell. I know it does. And I know I probably sound crazy as hell right now too. But you know, that's okay. You can think whatever you want. This is simply only to do what I have always done, what I've been doing since I started doing this shit. And that's to try and give you the truth and keep it as real as possible. So, with all that being said, y'all, you know, be safe out there. I mean, I don't know if this virus is real or not. It's very strange. It's very sketchy. I don't trust it, and I know for a fact it's still being used as a scapegoat, but at the same time too, it seems like there's, like some kind of scenario, kill 2 birds in 1 stone type of scenario going on. But I mean, this can only get worse before it gets better. But y'all stay safe out there, okay? Be careful, be kind, be mindful. You know what I'm saying? And shit, just do what you can. Do what you can. So, until next time, y'all. This is all I got for you. Y'all take care. Peace out.